Hi there, YouTubers. It's been umpteen ages since I did a weaving video, any video for that matter. I've had a lot of computer issues that have prevented me from editing and posting a video for a couple of months now. I had not a hard disk failure, but I kept going into where all my disk drives were saying they were at 100% usage. And it was like click a mouse, wait 2 or 3 minutes, click the mouse one more time, wait 2 or 3 minutes. It just drove me absolutely nuts. And I've had to make some changes in my computer configuration, and I couldn't edit videos at all. So that's the excuse for why there's been nothing for a long time. What I've got on the loom here, I'm using my table loom today, my Ashford 8-shaft table loom. You've seen it before. I'm working on a shadow weave out of the Strickler book, and I'm going to show you a picture of the page that contains the pattern that I've been working on. But what I want to show you today is not so much the weaving or the pattern itself, but the pattern that's in most weaving books is based on a setup of someone using a floor loom and not a table loom. And floor looms like my Louette, which is over in the corner that way from where I'm sitting right now, is based on having treadles. And when you push one treadle, it raises or lowers multiple shafts on your loom. But on a table loom like this one here, you've got levers that work independently. And to get a pattern, you have to flip multiple levers each time you throw the shuttle back and forth. The question then is, how does one convert from the pattern in the book that shows a tie-up to what's called a lift plan for using a table loom or a floor loom that has direct tie-up? Most of them don't. But anyways, table looms have lift plans. So what I'm going to do is show you a picture of the pattern, and then I'm going to sit with a pencil and paper, a marker and paper, so it's easier for you to see on video, and walk you through my process of converting a tie-up to a lift plan. Now, there's a couple ways one can do this. One of the ways is to put your pattern into a computer program like the one that I sometimes used called Fiberworks PCW, and then you just click one mouse click and it converts it for you. But I realize not everyone has got that, and it's good to understand how to do this in a straight walkthrough pattern, pencil and paper style. So that's what I'm going to show you next. And then after that, we're going to sit down back at the loom again and actually do just a small amount of weaving. This isn't so much a weaving video where you're going to sit and watch me weave, as this is a weaving video where you're going to see how I convert the pattern in a book to a lift plan that I can use on this loom right here, my Ashford table loom, which is direct tie-up. So that's the plan. We'll go over and sit down and do that bit of pencil and paper conversion next. I know this isn't going to be super easy to see, but I'm going to try and show you on paper how I convert this set of threading with this tie-up and this treadling as shown in the book. Into a lift plan that I can use. So the first thing I'm going to do is copy onto a sheet of paper the tie-up that is in the book. And I know this is way too small. That's why I've got it on a bigger sheet of paper for you to see. So the tie-up, they're using the letter O. I'm going to use the letter X just to be easy for me. It's an X there. And then the top three. 1, 2, 3. You can see those. Now in the next column over, there's 4 X's near the top. The next column is 4 X's, but they're down 1 row. And then we keep going down 1. So I did 3 X's in this column because then the next one, which you can't go beyond 1 to down to 0, is going to go up here at the 8 position. Then XX and 2 X's up here. So that's the entire treadling, and each row here represents one of the shafts on the loom. So this is shaft 1, this is shaft 2, shaft 3, shaft 4, shaft 5, okay? Hopefully you can see that. Now the next thing is, what about the treadling? Again, I'm going to go back to the book, and it's just this little bit right here that I'm concerned about for the pattern that I'm making. So there's excuse me, a repeat of 16 threads. So we're going to put a D, 1, 2, 3, 4, go over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and an L for dark and light. Then a D, then we go over to here, an L. Then a D, then an L. Finally a D and an L. Then another D, and we can't go over past the edge here, so we're going to wrap around and the L comes over here. Then the D and the L. And the D and the L. And finally a D and an L. So there's the treadling pattern from the book. Now the question becomes, how do we turn this into a lift plan? So let's look at this very first D here, this row. What I'm going to do is go up above and see which shafts would be tied to this treadle if I had a treadle. And that would be shaft 1, not shaft 2, not shaft 3, not shaft 4, not shaft 5, but shaft 6, shaft 7, and shaft 8. The next one is this L here. What shafts would be tied to this row, to this treadle, if I were using a floor loom? Well, it would be shafts 2, 3, 4, and 5. That would be following this row straight up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll look at this one, D. And at this point, it doesn't matter if it's a dark or a light. It just matters that it's got something there. That's going to be 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to put 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'm going to go over to this one. This treadle would get shafts 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just going to keep following this process down. So a D here is go up and over shaft 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's this one. Now we'll come over to this one and up to here. For this treadle, we would tie up shaft 1, 2, 3, and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 8. Hopefully you're beginning to see the pattern here, what's going on. This one, it's the fourth treadle, we'll go up, and that comes over to 3. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Come over to here, go up, and it's 1, 2, 7, and 8. I'm not going to write. I've been talking all day at Heritage Hill, where I'm a historical interpreter, and we had school kids today, and I had a couple hundred kids, and I'm starting to lose my voice. Anyways, I think by now you're seeing the method that I use to convert a tie-up plan, a tie-up for a floor loom that has treadles, into a lift plan, which is the numbers of the levers that I'm going to pull on my table loom to do the same thing as this tie-up. So all I'm going to do is, when I'm at the table loom, I might start by pulling levers 1, 6, 7, 8. Then the next throw across the loom is going to be levers 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the next time I'm going to pull levers 5, 6, 7, 8. And then levers 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll show you a little bit of this on the loom when I get over there. But this is my conversion process when I'm doing it by hand. Obviously, I could do this at the computer, but not everybody has the same program on the computer that I do for doing this. So if you don't have a computer program to do this for you, this is the by hand way of doing it. Let's take a look at how this works out on the computer, or on the loom itself. All right, I'm at the loom, and I've been weaving on this before, but the position I'm at is this line right here, where I just did a light colored with 1, 2, 3, 8. So that means that my next set of levers should be 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will be a dark thread. So let's set that thing down. We beat that. And what did I say it was? 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll put number 8 up. And then I'm going to go across with this. Okay, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll beat that home. Next comes, after 3, 4, 5, 6, should be 1, 2, 7, 8. 1, 278. And we'll go across and leave that in. Oops. I'm changing threads too here, but that's minor. I ran out of my light colored thread of yarn. So we'll put a little extra in there. So there we go, 1, 2, 7, 8 as requested, and we beat. What comes after 1, 2, 7, 8? 1, 2, 7, 8 light. Next is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 of dark. So I need just a little bit more tension. There we go. There's that. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5 of dark. And the next one is going to be 1, 6, 7, 8 of light. So 1, 6, 7, 8. And hopefully you can see how I have converted from a treadling tie-up, which I would use over on the floor loom, to a lift plan, which I use here on the table loom. And when this is all done, maybe I'll put this up on Facebook, or YouTube, but I want to get this video up of the process. It's kind of a neat looking shadow weave shawl. Synthetic yarn, no problem.